Hi guys, today I'm at LCG in London and I'm meeting Jasper, Head of Research. We're going to be talking about the keys to success in life and trading.
Hi Xenia, thank you for talking with me today. I think what we were going to talk about is the factors that go into making someone successful, so in life, but also trading financial markets, which is of particular interest to clients of LCG. So I know not everyone will probably know that you have a degree in economics. You did spend some time on the capital markets desk at a big bank in London. But for me, probably more interestingly, is the online empire that you've built for yourself speaks pretty well to the kind of spirit of independence and the kind of desire to control your own destiny that actually is why a lot of people get into trading in the first place. Where do you think your independent spirit came from, and more importantly, probably, how did you actually put it to work?
Jasper, thank you for having me here. It's always very nice to be back into a trading floor and to see what's happening on the markets and to speak to you and to be more informed about the trends. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. And
my pleasure.
And definitely I pursued a career that is extremely independent. I think the online industry gives you a chance and a possibility to develop your own business however way you like, whether you want to work from home or whether you want to structure it and become a big company or you want to do it part-time. There is space for everybody, which is very democratic, and it all depends on your own abilities and your own will to work hard. But how to stay motivated, how to become successful, I think for any industry, whether it's trading or it's something like my digital business, it's all about discipline and hard work, and there's no way around it. But it's also belief in yourself. It's believing in yourself. It's waking up every morning and believing you can make it. And it's not always easy. People will always have doubt. I will have doubts. There's gonna be failures, and I always see success as an iceberg built on a lot of failures, and what you see is just the tip of the iceberg, which is the success. And the rest is trying and trying again and trying over and over again. And that's what I think can apply to any industry. And mm-hmm. People who are really successful are those who don't give up in failure.
Yeah, failing is tough, isn't it? I mean, trading is an interesting one because when you do fail, it's in black and white on your account sheet because you've made a loss and it's right there. And it is hard to bounce back from. So since you're talking about it, I know it's not been all plain sailing for you. Is there a memorable failure that you had that now looking back in hindsight, actually it was something that contributed to the success you're having now?
I think I had plenty of failures. One that I remember clearly is a failed book deal. Right before starting my fashion blog, I had a book deal in the US, and it didn't work out because the terms were really unfavorable for me, but I had worked really hard for it, and I was extremely disappointed, and I didn't know what to do with the rest of my career at that point. So I got a little bit depressed, and I was lying on my mom's couch, just binge watching TV shows and eating for a couple of months or maybe more. And then
Netflix has a lot of uses for this.
Yeah, I think at that time I wasn't even watching Netflix. It was just some very not compelling stuff. But somehow this period of crisis and depression, I'd say, helped me to try something completely new, completely different and innovative, which is the digital sphere and the social media industry. And while trying it and venturing into it, it kind of skyrocketed. And the more I was working in it, and the more it was working for me. So I'd say, yes, I've had a lot of failures, but failure sometimes is just a moment of change. And change is mostly related to growth. So it's good, even in my opinion, I don't know in trading, but I would say in trading to take your setback, to not dwell on it, just to take it, to accept it and move on.
So I want to talk a little bit more about your the content that you do put online. A lot of the content portrays the sort of lifestyle that, again, a lot of traders aspire to, but I think people in general, so traveling business class, eating nice food, traveling to tropical locations, even a few fast cars. How important do you think aspiration is to getting people up and motivated and doing the things they want to do, doing big things in life?
I think it's, of course, important to stay humble, to work hard, but also to show if you work hard, you can have this lifestyle. And I think there's nothing wrong with having a great lifestyle. I think we all should be having a great lifestyle if we have merit. So if we work hard and there is a meritocracy in the world, why wouldn't we have this lifestyle? Of course, my job, and I guess a trading job too, probably would create a flexibility of times. And this is very interesting. So if sometimes you have online digital platforms to use for your profession, then you can travel and work from wherever you are. It doesn't mean you don't work hard. It just means you can be anywhere with an internet connection.
So for those people who aren't yet traveling business class, let's say, you've talked before about fake it till you make it. I think that definitely applies, especially when you're trying something new, be it trading or your career or even relationships maybe. Have you found there's any tricks to faking it till you're making it, or is it just more an attitude or something else?
I think we need to explain what fake it till you make it means. In my opinion, fake it till you make it is fake confidence or belief in yourself when you're actually very nervous, because then you will learn how to have the right posture, the right attitude, how to speak to people. And the same is with belief in yourself within your own mind. Fake it within yourself. Think, yes, I can make it. Yes, I am amazing, even if you have doubts. And at some point it will become an automated thought process, and it will help you strengthen those connections in your brain and your neurons. And you will start actually believing more in yourself. So that's what I mean by fake it till you make it. Try it, and without trying, I don't think you can achieve anything. You just have to go for it. Take the leap. Yeah,
trying it. And then you've also talked about, I think, well, is in one of your TED Talks, it was talking about dreaming big, right? So you have to try it, but you have to have something to dream for in the first place. I guess no one wants to settle for less, but unfortunately that is oftentimes what happens. How do you know what you're going for? How do you turn that big dream into, how do you make that big dream come true?
I think first of all is to find your big dream, which is not an easy task, is to find your own passion. I think you really need to have a dream first of all, so you need to look within yourself and decide what is your passion. And once you have found that, or you realize that through trial and error that this is your journey, then at that point, of course, you just have to always face fear. Because the older we get, I think, the more fear sometimes takes over, because we have more to lose. Maybe we have a family, or maybe we have a career, maybe everything is set in place. So people don't take risks as much out of fear, but I think sometimes it's good to face your fears, to try something new.
Absolutely, yeah. I wanted to talk about, I mean, I think you could say that you have made it as a sort of social influencer, right? But there are other people out there trying to be a social influencer. I actually read in the paper just today, there was a girl who spent $10,000, I think, trying to be a social influencer, wasn't able to achieve it. So you have competition.
What did you spend it on?
Well, on holidays, and it sounded like maybe it was a very good excuse for buying lots of holidays and bags, because it was all going on Instagram. But, you know, she didn't make it, but you obviously had some kind of competitive spirit where you were able to do it. I know you also collaborate with different partners as well. So
yeah.
How can people kind of cultivate that competitive spirit? But then also, secondly, how do you combine that kind of competitive spirit with actually collaborating with people who can help you?
So I wouldn't say that we would start with the competitiveness. I would just start with building your own path, my own path. So when I started in the digital world, I was doing my own thing. And of course, I was looking at competition to get inspired and to think, oh, wow, they're doing this, maybe this is working. It's good to get inspired instead of just competing when you're just starting. But then, of course, when you're at a very high level and you have just a few players, then competition naturally comes into place. But it's never a nasty one. It's usually an empowering one, because sometimes somebody doing better makes you work harder to achieve the same level. And I think that's a healthy competition. That's competition for improvement and skills. And it's not based on something negative.
Got you. Okay, understood. Trading is just an interesting one because it's a zero-sum game, they often say. So, if you've bought and the price goes up, you take a profit, whoever sold it to you made a loss. So it just makes it naturally a very competitive thing because it's very binary. It's interesting to see you say that because actually I think people, if they focused a bit more on themselves and their own process, then actually they don't need to worry about the competition. That happens by itself. So
in general, you should just aim to improve yourself and compete to your former self, because we all start at a different level and from a different background, and you should always remember that. So you're competing against yourself last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, instead of competing with the person next to you.
Thank you very much, Xenia. It was great talking to you today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.